Absolutely. So, Erin, are you ready to girl boss? Are you ready to gatekeep? Are you ready to gaslight?
Absolutely. In Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi.
Oi, oi, down under. Getting straight into it, right? Opening credits, they felt a bit sad. It was very short, very fast paced. Had the season one filter, which was weird.
Yeah, yeah.
$30,000, and that was it. I was like,
I know. Is it like, what's the budget like? I mean, clearly you can kind of see that the budget's a little bit lower than like the US, maybe even the UK.
yeah.
But 30,000 is just like, surely there's more.
Even give them a monthly subscription to Box Underwear, JJ Malibu, something. Don't just go $1,000.
It's like, that's just like Miss Congeniality gets 20K, but 30K for a winner is just like, some girls spend 20K on outfits.
Yeah, like don't be wrong, 30 grand is still a lot of money, but I think in comparison to the other versions of Drag Race, it's a bit tight.
Yeah, maybe there's different laws over there. I don't know.
Maybe that's very true. So obviously then we move into the girls walking in. First up, Art Simone. Art Simone walks in this like latex white dress and paint all over it. Her makeup is stunning. I liked Art Simone's entrance look.
Yeah, I loved it. It was so creative. It really showed her. I think I've seen her in it before. She's obviously going into it as a known name. Like she is probably, when you think of Australian drag, you think of Art Simone.
Yeah.
She's walking into it kind of like the Vivienne. So it'll be interesting to see, is she gonna live up to these standards, you know?
Yeah, I liked her because it felt like it looked expensive, but I know it probably didn't take a lot of money because it was a latex dress with like latex paint over. So I enjoyed the fact that it was fashion without being the best, or like you can tell it wasn't costing a lot of money. That was a lot of money to get out. Then Maxi Shield looks great for 46 as a boy. Very stunning. Big old titties, blue kind of meshy lace jumpsuit. I like it. You can tell she's a host girl. You can tell like she's a great crack. Introducing all the girls. What do you think of Maxi Shields?
I think she's showing, I feel like she's very Australian drag, you know, like that's what you think of, the kind of pub queens, you know. The oldest girl of the cast, you can sort of, she's very old school drag, which is, I feel like that is very Australian.
She was rocking big titties for AliExpress while selling big titties.
Oh, absolutely. Like G cups, you know?
All the girls want what Maxi Shield has. Following Maxi Shield, Jojo Zaho. Very kind of pop art. The plastic sculpted hair, stunning. And she did say she was First Nations, which we all do love representation because we had Lola Burley on Canada. And now we have Jojo as First Nations Aboriginal from Australia. What do you think of Jojo?
I liked her. I liked her personality. I wasn't in love with the outfit. I loved the wig. I wish the outfit kind of matched the wig. I feel like they were both plastic, but they were different kinds. So I wish it was more kind of that sculpted plasticine almost texture all the way down. And I wasn't a fan of the like light reflex that she painted on.
Really? I did like them.
Really, I wasn't. They're really nice for like a photo, but when you move around, it sort of just looks like you have white paint on you.
That's true. I thought it was nice to see something, even if it wasn't great, it was nice to see something different walk into work with. Then following Jojo, Electroshock in like this red AliExpress bodysuit, because we've seen it on AliExpress. And Jojo made a comment that her hair is dry. Now, look, I get it. The hair was dry, and I was like, well, she's in drag for 8 years. And when I heard 8 years, I was like...
Yeah. That kind of hair isn't acceptable. You can tell that it was probably expensive. So she doesn't want to ruin it. But what she's doing is that she's keeping it for so long that it has just... It's like frazzled, you know?
This was like she wore it after she had a performance in it. She styled it beautifully and it was beautiful, and then she performed it once, and it's like she took that one out because it was what to hand. HD didn't treat Electric Shock right. Electra Shock. Following Electra, Scarlett Adams. face beat. That red power suit was stunning. Burlesque queen. Did you like Scarlett?
I like the outfit. There's been rumors about Scarlett, like alleged blackface stuff. So I don't want to comment on her. I don't. Apparently, she is known in the scene for being racist.
I don't know her like that. Oh, that's okay. That's interesting. That's why we have you on. Yeah, I thought regardless of that, I'm not going to be like racist, but no.
Yeah.
She was stunning. It was stunning, but let's be aware that there is this past following her around.
Yeah.
Then following Scarlett, Coco Jumbo in this like navy and gold Real Housewives of New Zealand dressing, and I loved it. It was very reminiscent of Patrick Starr. I don't know why I'm making that connection.
Yes.
But very kind of
the
like,
face. The face was very similar, and the face was so correct.
Oh my god, so correct.
Fully like unclockable, completely airbrushed, incredible. The whole episode.
Like from the girls we've seen so far, the makeup seems to be very good. Like even if Electroshock wasn't ideal, she still had good makeup. I like the level of makeup we're seeing because everyone else has nice makeup. Following Coco Jumbo, Katie Mean in this like Harajuku fantasy, the pink sculpted hair got me together.
It was a lot. She came in owning the room.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think she has a name to herself in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine that the drag scene is probably very big in New Zealand, so I feel like it's probably an everyone knows everyone sort of situation.
Yeah.
So I'd say she's probably a big dog in that. Her and the other one.
The other one. So then following Ketamine, etc., came in a brown sparkly cockroach number, which I appreciate.
I loved that.
I loved it.
I loved it. She looked beautiful.
And she was having fun.
Yeah.
Didn't Jojo make a comment about this, something negative? Because I feel like Jojo was set up to be very like negative queen from the entrances.
I mean, her antennas fell off as she was doing her entrance. And I think possibly she's young. She's 22. So she might have sort of an air about her.
Yeah, very that. Following, etc., Anita Wiglet. Now, Anita is a business partner and best friend to Katie Mean. So Anita walks in, very like camp vamp. It was like vampire-esque, but not sexy. It was very like camp, like tongue-in-cheek almost.
Like gothic, yeah.
And then Art Simone was stirring shit. She was like, Anita, what did you say? Or Kita, what did you say about Anita? I don't think I would have thrown someone under the bus the way Kita did.
Yeah, I mean, surely they must have known that they were going to be on the same show.
Oh,
if they're that close of business partners, they should know that they're getting these outfits and that they're preparing to leave. You know?
Yeah.
So it shocked me that they were surprised to see each other.
I thought that obviously they knew and they were like, oh, I didn't know you were going to be here. I was more surprised that whether or not Anita was following Kidda, I find that very weird to say, Ketamine, you know you're going on the show and you know whatever you say mean is going to be projected. So why would you drag your sister, like the person that you respect the most as your best friend, why would you start saying that like she rides your coattails? I felt very uncomfortable with that. Especially
if she knows that she's going to be in the room in like 5 minutes.
Like I didn't like the way that was set up. And then last but not least, I'd say the girl on this cast who everyone's heard of the most via Trixie Mattel is Karen from Finance.
Yeah.
Loved her. When she walked past the mark into the camera, I made a joke about it. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is camp. This is drag. This is tomfoolery.
I feel like she's also very Australian drag as well.
And unapologetically herself. Like this 80s housewife CEO fancy, I loved. She was very confident in what she was bringing, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Out of the 10, who was like best entrance?
I think is it Electra that wore the cockroach thing, or was it it was etc.
etc. Yeah.
Yeah, she had a very strong, clean entrance, and Art Simone had a really clean entrance that sort of put them like it defined them.
Yes, I am enjoying the spread so far. I'm not typically drawn to camp queens, but the camp queens in Australia seem to have a humorous and a bit of tongue in cheek. It's not like Nina West's version of camp. There's something warm about their camp, and I enjoy that. So RuPaul comes down and announces they're going to do an acting challenge, who will be judged by Taika Waititi, who was pre-recorded, was not there, was completely pre-recorded.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Could he just like not be there for 10 minutes to just like
pop
react a little bit, or did he have to just?
It was just like whatever money they saved on the prize money, they did not put towards Taika. Let's just say that. So they all come out. They're all there, funny, haha, whatever. Sean with the clapper. I am free on Wednesday. If you see this, Sean with the clapper. I am free on Wednesday. If you're free on Wednesday.
Who was the guy with the boombox? You know, but he wasn't even like he gave up, like he wasn't even holding it up. He was just kind of like holding it down.
Like they found that pit crew on the side of the road, was like, do you want to make $50? Like they weren't invested whatsoever. And I know I'm a white cis gay and saying that he was beautiful, but oh my god, that man was stunning.
I like the other one.
The kind of ottery one.
Like the bald one.
Yeah. Drag Race contributing to all our fantasies. We love it. So Electra wins, and the thing I was screaming at, it wasn't like a named prize. RuPaul literally said, Electra is the winner of our challenge. You win a dazzling necklace set. What is that?
Like a pearl necklace. I don't know. A RuPaul branded necklace or something, surely.
But like, even if it's RuPaul branded, like show it in like some sort of like the way they used to do in past seasons. But a very generic dazzling necklace set. I was like, this poor bitch.
Yeah.
That was chronic. But anyways, RuPaul then announces that they're going to do a get to know you ball. First category, born naked, basically, and then second one is hometown. That challenge getting a bit recycled at the moment. It's a bit kind of cookie cutter Drag Race. I don't know how to do it. I think it's a good concept, but it's overdone for first episode, I think, personally myself.
The hometown one.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't spark joy. But anyways, let's go into it. First up was Scarlett in this kind of chiffon dressing gown moment. Now, wasn't she the one where it actually broke?
Yeah, it ripped and she had to kind of sew it up.
I felt so sad for her. I was like, that definitely cost a lot of money. And to see that tear the way it did.
Like 300 for like a full body.
I felt so sad. She looked stunning, but racism.
Yeah.
And then her second look for her hometown was this kind of Bjork swan moment black dress, which I thought was fine.
I liked it conceptually, but I wish it was just like a mini dress. I wish it was more structured or something so that it had more of a wow factor, because it was just a cocktail dress, whereas other girls did sort of like a gown or like a full thing. She just kind of went for a dress.
Like whether or not it was specially made, to me, it kind of came across that she bought a jazz dress and then got this swan attachment and then just sewed it into the dress. Nothing major. Following Scarlett was Maxi Shield in this like bubble wrap coat with her mashed chilies, which I adored because it was bubble wrap. It's clever.
Yeah, I mean, was it born naked? I don't really know. I didn't know. Like she was wearing a lot of clothing.
Like I was waiting for a moment of trauma where she'd be like, I don't like showing my body, so I'm going to cover it up. That kind of moment, but I didn't even get that. But didn't really hit the mark. And then following that, her hometown look was a king prom.
Oh, that was ugly. Oh my god. I didn't even know what it was until she said what it was.
Yeah, it was very reminiscent of, do you remember Sacha Bell's Crawdad look?
Yes.
Like, are we going to get every color of the rainbow eventually from like the lobsters? We've had red, we have orange. I'm waiting on yellow. That's all I'm waiting on.
Yeah, it's not flattering.
Out of the two, I preferred bubble wrap, but in saying that, it wasn't born naked.
No.
Put it that way. Following Maxi was electroshock in the kind of, that's very right. Oh, the white kind of American football jock thing.
The RuPaul, an ode to RuPaul.
I'd be mad if someone tried to do an ode to me with that. That wasn't great. It was
cheap. It wasn't cheap. Like, yeah. There wasn't, and it also wasn't, it was just nude in color. It wasn't a nude body.
Yeah, putting nude white as well almost like washed her out completely. Like, yeah, if she'd gone black, like she could have taken some liberty with it. I think copy and paste of what RuPaul did was kind of like a pick me, like please pick me.
Yeah.
Following that, this white sash with a rainbow cape. That's a drag pride look, but not a good one.
No, it didn't have anything to do with where she was from.
No.
And it was ugly. It like God. It just, yeah, it wasn't it. It was separates from stuff that she found on the internet, kind of all put together. But it didn't read where she was from. I think she's from Perth. No, she's from Auckland, New Zealand.
Yeah.
Didn't read that at all, I don't think.
No, it was like we've all seen interpretations of this for baby drag at Pride. Yeah. But I don't like the rainbow flag being used in that way because I don't think the rainbow flag is necessarily not nice, but it's not an outfit. The Pride flag is not an outfit. It doesn't work with much. Had she incorporated, say, the white sash coming down and then maybe the dress flowed into different colors and like a very muted ombre effect.
Yeah.
It might have done something, but to just throw a white chiffon dress and then a feather, like a cheap Deal's feather cape of the Pride flag, didn't hit the mark for me.
Yeah, wasn't cutting the mustard.
No. Following Electra then was Coco. In this kind of like Monique Hart eyes thing that covered her whole body with big pink fluffy hair.
Yeah. It could have been better if it was made better, I think.
Yeah.
I like the concept of kind of hiding behind your face. But I think it could have been done a little bit better.
Yeah, it was a bit too loose. If that was like, I hate to say it's sewn into a bodysuit, but in a good way, it could have worked, but it was just like inflated. It's like someone, like a clown made balloons and just like sellotape into their body. I wasn't a great fan. And then the King Kong look. This made me feel very uncomfortable.
I loved it.
I don't know why, like my mind went straight to like, is she doing a caricature of a minstrel type thing? I don't know why my mind went to that, but I didn't get where it came from. What did you make of it?
I loved it. It was like, if you looked close at it, it was a really well made like bodysuit with fur and sort of like a sheer, but when you look back, you're like, oh my God, it's a gorilla. And it obviously made sense. I think her city is called like the Big Banana or something. So it made sense.
Okay. Like, yeah, like I know where you're coming from now. I think just at the time, my first initial visceral reaction to it was, this makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But then, again, it's not my place to really comment on that, if that's her prerogative either.
Yeah.
So following Coco Jumbo was et cetera, in this non-binary look. I personally didn't get it. I personally didn't enjoy it. But what did you make of it?
I really liked it. It's sort of, it was a little bit gory. It was a little bit, it looked like a nude body because it was a nude body. So there was no sense of like, oh, I'm in a nude bodysuit, don't look at my bra strap, because she was fully nude, which is ballsy to do.
Very ballsy.
I think it looked beautiful. You know, I think it portrayed kind of her character in drag in the nude.
Yeah, whilst I do enjoy people who are non-binary having that platform, that representation, I think just from a purely like, would I wear it or do I relate to it? Purely the fashion thing, I personally don't, but I do enjoy the fact that non-binary got representation in this episode. And then following the non-binary look was this kind of grey Canberra triangle government old with like a flowy chiffon. Forgettable?
It was a little bit forgettable. I quite liked it. It was very subdued, so it wasn't exactly like a showstopper to be judged on. And I think that's why she kind of landed safe. Even though her two looks are pretty polished.
Yeah.
It was just, it wasn't standing out as this is exactly, I know exactly what this is.
Yeah, I think had there been some sort of contrast with colouring, it might have worked a lot better. I just think with the whole thing being silver, it was hard to make out details. And even if it was well done, it couldn't make it out because it was monochromatic. But still. Following, etc., was Jojo. First look, Born Naked, was this pre-colonization goddess. I like this. I love this.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it was a little bit plain. It was a bit plain, but you know, it was pretty.
It was pretty. And then following that, our hometown look was Aboriginal Princess with the reveal. I think, was it Australia has been and always will be?
Yeah. Oh no, I think it's like always been here, always will be.
That's the one, yes. Thoughts?
Gorgeous message. Important to bring up, especially on TV in Australia. Provokes conversation. Not as a look, if you take it away from the message, it's not well constructed, you know, and it was kind of the message was getting lost from like the look.
Yeah, when I see messages like this, I prefer a more kind of I don't want to say subtle approach to play it, but I prefer more like intelligent kind of represent it through your art form rather than just blatantly being like, this is the message. I felt the same way about Candy's Black Lives Matter dress for the Drag Race Holiday. Whilst I don't disagree with the message whatsoever, I think it's very important to have that message. I just think to slap BLM is a bit.
I think Simone did it really well with the gunshot one, where it was beautifully made, which made it more impactful.
Yeah.
Instead of a message planted onto the back of a dress, you know? So if it was more themed around it, it could have worked.
It could have, but I'm glad she got that message out because you know what happened, and I'm glad she got the message out anyways. Following her, Karen from finance in this came out with a shiny bodysuit, didn't love it, but the reveal into the sunburn and the yellow pubic hair.
Yeah, that was kind of cute. That was kind of cute.
She wasn't trying to be like fashion camp. It was just like, I'm gonna have a good time, and I enjoyed Karen.
Yeah.
Then hometown look, very cleverly did a straight white woman. And I thought it was very clever to do it that way because you could poke fun at, like, that's the drag in your city. It is like straight white women.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was winning. I thought it was fun. I didn't think that I don't think that she was necessarily the winner of the night.
No, but at the same time, do we really trust RuPaul to make any good decisions?
No. Yeah, it's purely storyline sort of thing.
Yeah. Following Karen was Anita Wiglet, came out as Eve from the Garden of Eden. I liked it. I liked the interpretation, but again, didn't really match the assignment.
Yeah, I mean yeah, I like that. I like the concept of it. I think it could have been done possibly a little bit better.
Yeah.
It wasn't reading nude to me.
Yeah. Then her hometown look, which I really enjoyed, was like the chic couture. What made it for me was that her body was out below the jacket, so it gave it some dimension. But what did you make of it?
I loved it. It was like you could see it and instantly be like, okay, she's from New Zealand.
Yeah.
You know? And it was a beautiful silhouette and an amazing concept, and kind of impressive of her to do that because she's not like a fashion girl or anything. So it was clever of her to choose that.
Yeah. Following Ina is her best friend, Kidda, comes out with this white cotton balls as like a fringe moment. I like
hated
it.
it.
I
hated it.
But
it was so ugly.
Really, you think?
Yeah, I genuinely think it was the worst look of the night. Genuinely. It was just poorly made. It was ugly. It didn't flatter her body. And it also wasn't the assignment. It looked like she was wearing a bikini. You know, she wasn't nude at all. And it also didn't have a concept because all it was cotton balls on a bodysuit. Like there was no concept to it. She couldn't explain that.
Yeah, I think when people get the prompt born naked, they think it's just a new bodysuit with things added onto it, and that's the category. A lot of them just didn't hit the mark.
No.
But her hometown look, the all blacks 50s housewife, I did enjoy. I thought it was a nice reinterpretation of it.
Yeah. I thought it was nice. I think it's important to bring in the all blacks, you know, that's what they're known for. So it was nice that they got represented on a gay TV show. And yeah, it was a nice look. It was a little bit plain. I think it could have done with a bit more concept added to it because a lot of it was just plain black.
Yeah. And following Kidda was Art Simone and her Born Naked look, which is probably the best night, was the like cosmic duality. One side was undone, the other was complete drag.
Yes. Oh my God. It was so good. And it wasn't even like she was out of drag. It was like her drag character with no makeup on. You know, like it was just like fully nude, you know? It was fabulous.
Yeah, and then following that was her hometown look. It was an all black cape which revealed into a completely like colorful graffiti thing. It was clever because of the way she was able to flip it around so quickly and effortlessly. It wasn't a struggle. It was just like 1, 2, new outfit, and I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish it was had it been a different silhouette, possibly longer or shorter of a dress, it might have been a bit more show-stopping. Because it was very brunch, you know, like it was very daytime, you know.
So you're okay with Vinegar Strokes? Vinegar Strokes has entered the chat.
Yeah. Not like a drag queen performing at brunch. It was like a woman that goes to brunch.
Oh, I get you, yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So to put the question to you now, if you were to have, I think I asked this before, but let's ask it again. If you had to do Born Naked and a hometown, what would you do?
I think for Born Naked, I definitely do sort of a ravaged body, like almost like has been scratched and torn apart. And with like a sheer kind of fabric going off it. I think for hometown, I'd probably do kind of a cliffs or like a bog.
Yeah, that would be, I can see the bog. I can see that happening for you. If I was to do Born Naked, I would do either like a drag queen finished except one step behind. So do like all the padding but no tights over it. Do all the contouring, finish it off. Have a wig that's like, I don't want to say fresh out of the bag, but like, I don't know, or even just like a wig cap with no wig. Like either go full naked drag or go say, how do I describe this? Like a mesh kind of bag, like to represent an amniotic sac, and kind of move with that as if to say, not born yet.
Yeah. I mean, you could do like a fetus would be very interesting. There's also a really good shoot with Pamela Anderson where she's sort of half spray tanned, and then at the bottom, like the bottom half is just completely like white.
Yeah. I'm just kind of raging no one just went out as boy body, because that makes sense. Very Violet season 7. I mean, Scarlett got close, but she still did a full body and then a silicone suit.
Yeah.
So I mean, whatever. And then for hometown, I'm blessed where I'm from, so I would either do Constance Markovich or Queen Maeve.
Yes.
Like I'd have
I can imagine a WB Yates.
Oh, stop. And I would like propose at the end of the runway and I would do it 7 times to different people.
Yeah.
Which was gas. So before we get into like who wins, whatever, the main kind of trauma of the workroom was Kidda had a gastric sleeve, and then was it Jojo said she was bullied for the colour of her skin rather than being gay. And those I think were the main 2 traumas of the episode. Do you have any thoughts on the trauma?
I think it's important to tell someone like JoJo's story on Australian media and in media beyond, because I think Indigenous voices just aren't heard enough.
Yeah.
And it's so sad to see her go so soon, because she genuinely probably has a lot more to say about, you know, Australian media and how they view Indigenous people. So it is sad to see them go, but it is important that they told their story.
Yeah, and if we consider, say, how the format of Drag Race works, from after the episode kind of result, if you were to go back, you could see all the lay-stones there for her being eliminated, or them being eliminated, shall I say. They were mean to Elektra at the beginning, kept at it. They had their trauma laid bare, and then the finale. But anyways, Rue comes out anyways before the runway in this kind of black gown with white hair, which was fine. White hair, loved. Black gown, wasn't a fan, and then reveals that she's not going to be in drag for the season. What's your thoughts on that?
For the whole season? I think it's just this episode.
Okay.
Because I think in the Up Next, I saw her in drag.
Yeah. Okay, no, you're right. So for this episode, what do you think of RuPaul not in drag?
I mean, I think it's fine. I mean, it's understandable. Clearly, she has a reason. It's not just laziness. And they had to add in RuPaul like afterwards to sort of contextualize why she's not in drag at all. I assume like when she said that she lost it in transit, I would take her word for that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Twitter kind of up in arms of like, oh, RuPaul should at least be in drag. I'm kind of like, I don't watch Drag Race for RuPaul. I don't care whether she's there or not, so I didn't mind.
Yeah.
It was just a weird choice though, because even if her stuff was lost in transit, it's not like Australia and New Zealand is like the back arse of nowhere with no makeup.
Yeah, I think maybe she just sort out a makeup artist or something. I'm not sure. There must be a genuine reason other than laziness.
Oh, there has to be. It was a weird moment.
Yeah.
So then she announces that Karen from Finance wins. We know you're not necessarily in love with that idea, but who would you put as like your winner?
I would say Art, probably. Her first look was best of the night. And then her second look was good enough to win, you know?
Yeah.
And she's also she's one of 2 of the only fashion girls. So I feel like it would be justified to let her win.
Yeah. Yes.
Who would you have win?
I don't know. In my head, all that's coming through is that gif of how do I pick? They're also hideously deformed. Not because any of them are bad, but it's just like no one really stood out to me. Like Art Simone was stunning, but I wasn't like jumping. Yeah, like I wasn't wowed because my drag aesthetic or the clothes I like to wear, I don't think it was I seen it anywhere here. So I think that's just why. Not because they were bad. Yeah. I didn't care purely because I didn't care who won. They're all kind of level, but that's just my own thing. But that leaves Elektra and JoJo in the bottom 2, which was coming because of all the setup.
Yeah.
To the Bee Gees Tragedy, which I did not know Bee Gees did that first.
It's a weird song.
It's a
Are the Bee
weird
Gees Australian?
I don't know, but when I heard that it wasn't even Steph's Tragedy, it was Bee Gees, I was like, oh, they're really saving money this season. Like, there's no budget.
Yeah.
I was like, what about Kylie Minogue? What about Danny Minogue? Like,
I think Kylie's to come. I think Kylie is to come. I'm pretty sure she's announced for the season.
oh, she is, like, she's definitely a judge. But like, even for the opening episode, you can definitely do more than one Kylie song.
Yeah.
Do like Eurovision's entry for this year. Is it Montaigne Technicolor, I think it's called? It was just, I heard and I was like, really? The Bee Gees? Like an all-male group.
They have a high voice though. I liked the lip sync and I think the song suited it.
Yeah, I think the Queens did a lovely job at it. I just have not a hatred, but a dislike of Queens not getting the best chance they possibly could, because I don't think the Bee Gees version of Tragedy is in anyone's drag playlist of things they want to do.
It was definitely unexpected. They definitely had to learn the words that night. Because it's not playing in the clubs, you know?
Yeah. I did like the lip sync though. It was fun. The girls definitely made it a good lip sync.
Yes, absolutely.
I did enjoy Electra's kind of comedy in stepping in front of JoJo, and then JoJo stepped in front of Electra, so it kind of had that playfulness about it. Electra's splits, great. I did think though towards the end, Electra kind of leaned heavily into, I'm going to cover JoJo as like a shtick.
But
what did you think?
But she'd already won the lip sync, so it was, you know, she already did that center split. Rue was loud for this lip sync. He was audibly, you know, screaming and, you know, doing his ad libs and stuff. He was having a great time. So I think Electra knew she had won it after those splits. So she was like, okay, I could stop lip syncing now and I would still, you know, go through.
Yeah. It's just a shame we had to lose JoJo so soon, because even if she was a bitch, in my opinion, I think they had a lot to bring to the competition.
Yes.
I know a lot of people like to see Queens gone week by week. I personally think the first episode should be a free-for-all and that everyone goes out, does their thing, and gets into the mindset of what Drag Race is. I think to lose Queen the first episode is a bit annoying, because imagine spending tens of thousands of dollars just to be gone.
Yeah, I mean, with these kind of seasons, they're given a certain amount of episodes, so they want to make the most of it by having the biggest cast. So that does mean that girls do have to go home every episode.
Yeah, and as far as I'm aware, I think this season is 8 episodes, I think I've heard.
Yeah, so they do, it's either, you know, smaller cast and then a queen doesn't go home on the first episode, or a bigger cast and a queen goes home every week. Yeah.
I'm interested to see which way this season goes, because off the back of UK Drag Race, and I'd say its sister would be Canada in terms of budget, and Canada was amazing. I'm excited to see whether this flops in the Drag Race universe or it really excels because it's not the standard US Drag Race.
Yeah, I mean, I think already from the get-go, less people are going to be watching it than the UK. Yeah. American people love the UK, so they always want to tune in. And obviously the UK has a bigger budget and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if this lasts, if this gets a hype, possibly if, you know, someone does really, really well on an episode and there's this kind of, wow, you have to watch this thing. They might, you know, people might get interested in the season. But from now, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing it. So Erin, where can everyone find you? Because when I tried to look up Erin Gabrat, the first thing that came up was a GAA club. So I'm happy to see your transition into a sporting event. But where can everyone find you?
Yeah. Well, I'm on Instagram at Erin_go_bra_. And then I have exciting projects coming up, I think. Soon, I hope.
Good.
Yeah.
exciting. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and I'm sure we will see you again. Very exciting to see where this goes, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ooh, very